Sharon Jean.
Oh my goodness! If you want some more of
Sharon,
that,
I want more of Sharon for sure.
You got to go down. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, you got to go down to the Crest and check this out. All right, let's do it right now. Let's bring in Danae Hays, comedian and content creator, into the house.
Wow.
Oh my goodness!
How do you do it?
That is so fun.
Hey, how do you do it when you grow up in Alabama and all of your family members are crazy? You just pick a little bit from them, and then somehow you end up with Sharon Jean.
Sharon Jean, man, at the Piggly Wiggly. I'll tell you right now, that makes me want to go to a Piggly Wiggly. I don't even know if it exists, but I want to go.
They do exist,
boys,
don't they?
You know what we call it down in the South? We call it the Hoggly Woggly.
The Hoggly Woggly?
Fair enough.
All right, so you mentioned Bama, so Roll Tide. You actually went there, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Roll Tide. We played there from 2012 to 2015, and we won a national championship my freshman year. So,
how about that?
How good is that? All right. So content. I mean, we've been looking at stuff of yours all morning, afternoon.
Yeah.
All right. Content creation is kind of how it started. How did that all? Give us a little bit of background on how this all happened and why this year has been so amazing for you.
Oh, guys, it's been buck wild. I started filming videos when I was a kid. Like, my dad bought me a camcorder when I was 10, and I didn't have anybody to, play it for because there was no YouTube and stuff like that. So I just make these funny videos at home and then force my dad to watch it on the couch. And then TikTok rolled around, and I think in 2021 I posted my first, piece of content that had comedy in it, and it was a prank phone call. And I woke up the next morning and it had like 25 million views, and I thought, well, shoot, I guess I better keep, rolling out the comedy content. And then last year we went on my first tour, and it was really cool to be able to take it from social media to real life. That's been a dream of mine for a long time.
Oh my God.
Give the people what they want.
That's right. And you're going to right here in Sacramento on the 31st of the month.
Yeah.
Is it hard? Has it been a hard transition from content and the TikTok world to now on stage?
I think a lot of it was the fear at the beginning. Like, I had really psyched myself out because I had never performed in front of a live audience. But I've found it to be harder to make people on social media laugh because energy is such a big thing in comedy. Like, when you're in the room with somebody and you're vibing off that energy, oh man, you've got your set worked out, you've got your hour-long material. But then when the energy changes and it gets higher, you're able to ad-lib and improv, and I just love it, y'all. I mean, it's performing in front of a live audience is it's euphoric. It's very addicting.
Also euphoric, her calling us y'all.
Y'all, I love that y'all, which is great. It's unbelievable. I can't even wait to go. All right, speaking of going, it's going to be at the Crest Theatre. Great theater here. I know you haven't been performing here in Sacramento. What can we expect from this show? What makes this special comedy show so different for us to see?
I didn't want to just do stand-up. I wanted to do like a one-woman show. So when you come to my shows, it's a lot of Southern storytelling. I bring Sharon Jean on stage, so there's characters. And then there's also, a musical element because I'm releasing country comedy music. And so I'm able to sing songs that align with the Southern stories that I tell on stage. So it's a
so
variety
funny too,
show.
yeah.
no, maybe not as TV friendly, but yeah.
Some of those, yeah.
All right, so the question, now that you're becoming, you are famous, and TikTok famous and stage famous.
Yes.
When people are now seeing you in your big hat or not, out in public, is there a character that they're like, oh my gosh, you got to do this for me? You're in the airport.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I mean, it's got to happen. And if so, what character are they asking you to do?
If it's in the South, it's always Sharon Jean. And if it's somewhere outside of the South, it's typically the nosy neighbor, the HOA president that says all the wrong politically incorrect things. And that can typically get me in trouble if I'm out in public and people don't know I'm in character. So I try to keep her buttoned up.
Keep her buttoned up a little bit. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so you're coming to us now from Tennessee. And the Grand Ole Opry is there. So you're actually going to be performing there, and your good friend, Lainey Wilson, kind of hooked this up. How did that happen?
Oh my God, I was hosting backstage. I was doing a live stream, and Lainey was hosting on stage. And I was done with my set. I had nothing else on the script, and then the producer came back, and he was like, hey, we need you out on stage right now. And I was like, what am I saying? He was like, just read the teleprompter. And I'm an over-preparer, so I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then when I went out there, Lainey dropped the bomb on me. And, I had written that goal down that I wanted to have a Grand Ole Opry debut back in 2023. So it was right on time, baby, right on time.
That is so good. We are so proud of y'all. Hey, so rising influencers list, Hollywood reporters are recognizing you. I mean, if it was thinking back to when you were showing your dad those videos on your camcorder to now, is there any possible way you would have thought that this is where you could be?
You know, I hate answering it this way because I don't want it to come across as overly confident, but I truly believe that this was always going to happen all along. There was just this whisper inside of me that would never leave me alone, and thank God for TikTok. If it weren't for TikTok, you know, I think it would have slowed the process down. But I do believe I was meant to do this, and it just feels like I'm just living like this crazy dream every time something cool happens. Like speaking to y'all today has just been like, what the heck? We're talking about my tour coming out to California.
Right.
Like this is all so wild, but it feels like this is what I was meant to do.
I love that answer. And I love that answer, actually. I mean, the fact that you knew that, and this is what you have, obviously, you have created this craft of yours, you have perfected it, and you are making people's you are causing stitches.
Right.
Like literal
Busting
stitches.
some guts. Yeah, definitely. I got to ask you this, too. So, you know, obviously, you guys won a national championship out at Bama. I saw something you had also posted, too, of you, I think you and your dad, and you got you rented like a batting cage, and you went out there and you were hitting some balls off I mean, the swing's amazing. So were you an athlete before? What's going on? I mean, you're like very athletic.
Thank you. Yeah, softball was my number one passion. Nobody in my family was very musically inclined, and I just happened to get the gift of being really athletic, and so that's all I thought about. And then, you know, there's not really a pro aspect of softball. There is, but I decided to walk away from it after my 4 years at Bama. And yeah, I mean, I still like to go out there with my dad. My dad coached me from the time I was 4 until I was 18. And so
Cool.
that was a cool gift to be able to get back in the batting cage with him.
Love that.
Nice.
So athlete,
Yes.
big time athlete, comedian, singer, content creator. Like
Hat
usually
wearer.
you talk about triple threats.
Amazing hat wearer.
It's like 5, 7, 14 things she does great. Great to meet you. Have an amazing time here in Sacramento when you're here at the end of the month.
And you will love the Crest Theatre, by the way. The
It's
Crest
beautiful.
is awesome. Yeah.
I can't wait, y'all. Hey, thanks so much for having me on. It's been a blast.
You got it.
You're great.
Have a great show. So much fun.
Okay, so people, if you're watching this and you see that Instagram there, go there and carve out time.
Yeah. Almost 1 million followers on Insta.
And watch Danae Hays.
She's getting up there right now, too. There it is. The 31st, Scott, which is the end of this month at 8 p.m. at the Crest. Great venue to go check all that out.